And welcome to SEC Network Football presented by Sonic. It is a glorious day for some SEC football. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp, where the Florida Gators hope to get back to their winning ways. Their last time they played in this building, they just dominated Texas and looked really good. Their last outing, a disappointment against Texas A&M, trying to get their ship back in the right direction. Meanwhile, Mississippi State at 4-2, a pleasant surprise in the SEC this year. They will try to keep it going and pull off another upset as they are on the road for the first time here in the Swamp since 2010. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Neal. This is former Texas running back Fozzie Whitaker. Morgan Uber is down on the sidelines. We will visit with her in a moment, but let's first start with Florida. And just a lot of people use the term noise, which is surrounding this program right now. The future of Billy Napier has been discussed ad nauseum every day for the last, I don't know, you can even go back to the beginning of the season. But it is an issue. There's no doubt that you cannot come here and not hear it. I'm curious from a player's perspective, what kind of impact does that have on you?
Yeah, ultimately it's outside noise, but the players have to depend on who they are and the identity of their leadership within the team. The players have to come together. They're the ones that actually execute the plays on the football field, which is reflective and indicative of the head coach. But ultimately, these leaders have to step up and showcase what this Florida football team is all about.
Well, one of those leaders is their quarterback, DJ Lagway, who has been hurt, well documented. He's been hurt since last summer, but getting healthy in the last 2 weeks is starting to show the old DJ Lagway that I think we all expected to see.
Yeah, he needed more reps underneath his belt. Missing training camp, missing off-season, that affected him. Now he's hitting his stride, and part of the reason why he's been able to hit his stride is by the pass catchers that he's been able to get the ball to. Dallas Wilson, true freshman, unbelievable performance against Texas, and then coming back door, being able to control the line of scrimmage and having a running back like Jaden Ball, one of the most physical run-tackling running backs in the game. And then the other standout freshman, Vernell Brown III, has been able to showcase their athletic ability and why DJ Lagway has been on point at the quarterback position.
I mean, you look at a sophomore and two true freshmen right there. I mean, certainly the future bright in that regard. But certainly there's a lot more with DJ Lagway. If he keeps playing well, this team could go a long way. But for more on that story, let's go down to Morgan Uber.
Us that this was the best week of practice for DJ Lagway. He looked like he was himself again, playing fast, throwing the ball with accuracy. And it really took him the first half of the season to get used to playing to game speed. He came back just 12 days before the start of fall camp. But Lagway telling us that he really used that bye week to get those enhanced game reps. And we're seeing the benefits of that now. And he also brought a different juice this week. After the loss to Texas A&M, he said, "Nothing about this is acceptable. It starts with me," and numerous players I talked to this week for Florida told me Lagway hasn't let the outside narrative change the way he leads this team.
Well, he's certainly going to face an opposition ready for another upset win. When you talk about this Mississippi State team, they brought in a ton of new faces. Matter of fact, on this travel roster, there are 61 new players making the trip this year on the road. Meanwhile, 4-0 start, including a win over top 12 Arizona State. First time they've been 4-0 since 2014. But the last two games, obviously against Tennessee, had a chance to win that one. Texas A&M handed them all that they wanted to have. But certainly this is a team that when you look from a defensive standpoint, perhaps the biggest change has been with this group right here.
Yeah, and it's all about the personnel. Coleman Hutzler still is running the same scheme, but personnel has been upgraded from 24 to 25. And then you take a look at the interceptions, the number of takeaways this defense has provided, and that's indicative of the points that they've been able to shut down over the past season.
Well, Mississippi State won the toss. They elected to receive the opening kickoff. This is 22 of the last 23 games, and Mississippi State will get the football first. And with this offense, why not? That will sail through the back of the end zone. Well, Blake Shapen, 6'1", 210-pounder, a 24-year-old quarterback. Of course, when he was at Baylor, led him to a Big 12 championship game MVP. He has been in big environments his entire career. Of course, last year only 4 games before an injury set him down for the remainder of 2024. But when he came back, he just lit up Arizona State. Of course, they start the season with a big win on the road at Southern Miss, trying to have that defining moment on the road. We'll try to do it here against the Florida Gators. On first down from that far hash mark, they'll run it with Devon Booth. And Devon out over the 30-yard line. Miles Graham makes the tackle. And Obviously, with Booth getting the first carry, need to tell you about Fluff Bothwell, the South Alabama transfer, who will not play today. He is out for the game, so that means Booth and Xavier Gayton will be the main running backs today for the Bulldogs. Here's Shapin up top, going deep. This big play. Offense gets one here down to the 20-yard line. Goes Anthony Evans, the third.
That's a huge play. That's why they want the ball first, to be able to get this defense in predicaments. And you see Jamrock is not able to stay with Anthony Evans and start the game off with the big explosive play by Blake Shapin.
48-yard pickup just outside the red zone. Shapin keeps it left side, will slide down at the 15. Let's go down to Morgan.
Well, this Florida team is shorthanded in this secondary. Cormani McLean was a game-time decision. He's been down here, went through warm-ups, and has been down here on the bike. But free safety Jordan Castell is a no-go today, re-aggravating an upper body injury during warm-ups, guys. He's down here in a hoodie.
Boy, going to miss those guys. Here is Shapin again, turns the corner, keeps it himself. He's down to about the 12. George Gums Jr. making the tackle. One thing about Shapin, he may not be the biggest dude at 6'1", 210 pounds, but he might be one of the toughest guys we've seen this year.
Absolutely, being under duress and pressure a lot of the season, he's been able to showcase his toughness and fortitude, and he's going to need to exhibit that on 3rd and short here as Florida may look to pressure.
3rd down and a couple. Inside handoff, big run for Booth. He's inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Bulldogs. Booth on the year, 59 carries, 266 yards, averaging about 4.5 yards per carry. Does have those 4 touchdowns. A guy that got a bunch of carries a year ago. Finished 5th in the conference with over 1,200 all-purpose yards. So as far as having somebody to replace Bothwell, they've got a good one.
Yeah, Devon Booth obviously knows what it takes to be an all-conference running back, as he showcased that a season ago in what you mentioned, and his dynamic ability to be able to create plays in the open space, I think, is what kind of sets him apart from a running style versus what Fluff Bothwell does.
There is Booth, what he has done this year. Tell you what, though, I'm looking down at the injured Gator player, Sharif Denson. We've already told you, just got the update from Morgan about McLean and Castell, and now Denson is the one down. That is 3 starters on the back end for Florida.
Oof. You start talking about going up against this high-powered offense, especially one of the best offenses in the first quarter and first half at putting up touchdowns, and the speed at which they play. It's really going to test the communication on the back end of some of these new guys that haven't had as much experience with each other in a fast tempo pace game.
Boy, Levy liked his matchup with the speed he has at wide receiver on some of these Gator defensive backs, but he's going to really test him now without McLean, Castell, and Denson. It'll be 1st and goal for Mississippi State, an offense that scores almost 34 a game. That's 8th in the conference. Florida's defense has been solid, giving up less than 20 a game. And a couple of those were some late touchdowns the last few ball games. Quick snap. Handoff goes to Booth off the right side. He gets it down to the 3. There's Gums again, leading the charge for Florida, but it'll be 2nd down and goal.
They love to utilize that zone read. A lot of times in the red zone, this is where you see typical Blake Shapin fake it to the running back and then go around the edge, being the lead blocker by Seydou Traore.
Fake the handoff to the end zone. Quick slant, incomplete. They were trying to hit Brennan Thompson. Devin Moore in coverage for Florida, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Outstanding job by Devin Moore, taking away the inside slant. That's extremely difficult to do, especially against a guy like Brennan Thompson. Sets up 3rd and short.
And Kamario Taylor has checked into the game at quarterback. Their true freshman for specialty situations just like this. 6'4", 230-pounder will take the snap. Taylor keeps it going right side. Makes one man miss and sneaks into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And that's what Kamario Taylor provides at the quarterback position. Just a physical specimen and an athlete. Just get him in open space is all Jeff Lebby wants to do. He breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and then showcases his speed and dynamic ability, and then celebrates as only he knows how in the swamp. Kamario Taylor put the Bulldogs up first.
True freshman, 6'4", 230 pounds. First snap was highly successful for Kamario Taylor. But what an opening drive by Mississippi State. Their head coach, Jeff Lebby, fired up about it. They lead 7-0 here in the swamp. Obviously, the biggest play of that drive was the 48-yard completion to Anthony Evans III.
Yeah, and this is why Mississippi State likes to take the ball. They love their matchup on the edges. Anthony Evans III showcases his athletic ability and the speed to run past defenders. And you get in the red zone and you put number 1 in at the quarterback position. He's a dynamic player, and he showcases that dynamic ability with that touchdown run there.
8 plays, 75 yards, 2:42 off the clock, and the Bulldogs out in front early against what's going to be a tough ask now of this Gators secondary against these talented receivers, Brendan Thompson, Anthony Evans, 2 speedsters on the outside. Florida's got their own version of that. We'll see them in just a matter of moments. This kick will get out of bounds barely. A favorable bounce right at the end. Vernell Brown was hoping that was going to go out of bounds.
Number 80, ball be placed at the 35-yard line. It is first down.
One extra 10 yards. So DJ Lagway, here he comes. And they say that he is healthy, had a great week of practice. Maybe the best week of practice he's had since the end of last year in terms of healthy. And boy, when he is good, it's pretty to watch him throw the football around.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been spinning it. A couple passes against Texas A&M along the sidelines that were money on the dot types of throws right in the breadbasket. Expect him to try to pick up again where he left off from last week.
A sophomore out of Willis, Texas. Lagway to throw. Open man, caught inside Mississippi State territory. J. Michael Sturdivant with the opening catch of the game, and that picks up 20.
Yeah, and starting that confidence early, getting DJ Lagway set up with the play action, hitting it over the middle. That's how you start confidence for this young player to keep playing fast.
Little sidearm sling to the outside. Sturdivant again, or excuse me, that was Vernell Brown the third. They get the ball to VB3, man. Just hold your breath because it could go.
Dynamic athlete. Get it to him any way that you can. In space, punt return, kickoff return, it doesn't matter. He's liable to make a play happen no matter where he's at on the football field.
Sturdivant comes in motion, but they'll hand it off the ball off the right side. Makes a man miss, makes another one miss. He's inside the 30 down to the 28. That's a gain of 10 for Jaden Ball on his opening carry of the game.
Yeah, Jake Slaughter does a good job at the center position, being able to capture his defender and create an opportunity for Jaden Ball to stick his foot in the dirt and go pick up a first down.
Hayden Hanson, the tight end, in motion, but they'll hand it off to Ball, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple of yards. Boy, Jaden Ball will have to carry the load. Injuries in the backfield to Duke Clark, Jacoby Jackson. Means that Ball will be the main guy today. He didn't come off the field very much in their last game against Texas A&M.
And against Texas, it was kind of more of the same, the NFL style of play, being able to take the pounding that he was able to do, but the production is always there, which is why he was on the field so much.
Lagway to throw, going toward the end zone, and a little too far. They were trying to hit Dallas Wilson. Hard to overthrow Dallas Wilson.
Yeah, anytime you get one-on-one opportunities, that Dallas Wilson matchup is a favorable one that Florida wants to try to exploit. Here on third down, you got to be alert here for Vernell Brown III or Trey Wilson to be an outlet across the middle for this Florida offense.
So 3rd down and 7 now for Florida. Pressure comes. Lagway on the run, pump fakes, takes it himself, first down Florida. Isaac Smith had a chance but could not get him on the turf, and there's what a dimension DJ Lagway can give you.
Yeah, and that's what you get whenever you have a healthy Lagway. Now the protection's not great. There's miscommunication up front, but you got a dynamic player like DJ Lagway. He accounts for 2 missed tackles and picks up a first down with his legs.
He said it's the best he has felt this week of practice since the end of last year. Billy Napier saying that he was probably as good in practice this week as he's been in a long, long time. Jaden Ball's been always good. Tackled inside the 10, down to the 6. Isaac Smith hanging on. Gain of 11.
Yeah, and when this offense is good, it's whenever Jaden Ball is able to create in the run game and pick up big explosive plays like he did there. That's part of what keeps the pressure off of DJ Lagway and forcing the defense to be balanced and respect the run game for Florida.
Couple of play fakes. Lagway to the end zone, knocked away at the last moment. Amir Jackson had it, bobbled it, and that gave the Bulldogs an opportunity and Brylan Lanier to knock it away at the last moment.
Yeah, what a great call by Coach Callaway, the offensive coordinator, and Amir Jackson wishes he could have that back. Saw the end zone last week against Texas A&M, wasn't able to hang on to that one, and the contested coverage by Lanier played a factor in that incompletion.
On 2nd and goal, Lagway looks left, fires, and trying to hit Aiden Mizell, who had not turned out of his break yet and couldn't come up with a football.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. Expecting a back shoulder throw is what DJ Lagway was throwing. Mizell wasn't able to adjust on 3rd down here. This is Dallas Wilson territory. You're going to see him in the slot right at the top of your screen. That's going to be the guy to look for down here in the red zone.
They'll go empty, sending ball to the near side. Lagway stands, fires, pass, caught, touchdown, Hayden Hansen.
It's 4th down.
Did not see that. Nobody saw that. The whole offense is over here on the near sideline. They got to get back on the field. And now it's 4th down.
Let's take a look. You see Hayden Hansen. It appears as though he possessed the ball. Not really seeing much on that being an incomplete pass. It does move a little bit. They're going to put this under review.
It's an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
Matt Leffler, our referee today. I didn't see anybody signal incomplete pass.
Right. And we'll get a closer look at that again. It appeared like his hand was under the ball. As you see there, he catches it. The ball does appear to move a little bit, but I don't see the ball actually hit the ground at any point from this angle.
Yeah, the question is, does the ground help him make a catch? And I don't know that you can. And again, I'll go back to this. Got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field, which, unfortunately for Florida,
After review, the ruling on the field is of incomplete pass is upheld. It's 4th down.
And I don't think that. But I think what they're saying is they can't overturn the ruling on the field. There's nothing there to say that was a definite catch. unfortunate had it, because if they would have said touchdown,
they wouldn't have been able to overturn that either.
And instead of the 7, it's going to be a 24-yard field goal now for for Trey Smack, who's 9 out of 12. Missed 3 kicks the opening game of the season. He has made 9 consecutive since. And he'll hammer that one through the uprights. So kind of a disappointing 3 if you're Florida.
Yeah, and we'll take another look. As you look closely, that ball there, he doesn't have complete control of it. Called incomplete. Florida settles for the field goal.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Homecoming, the 101st edition. Both teams have had the football one time. Both have produced points, although the Gators feel like they left 4 of them out on the field. 7-3 our score. Last year the Gators got the best of Mississippi State. Matter of fact, it's been almost 2 years since the Bulldogs have won a conference game. This kick through the back of the end zone. Let's go back to that, what was a incomplete pass, and explain, show us what you saw.
Yeah, you're going to see the back judge here is going to signal incomplete, but the judge there is going to signal touchdown. So they had to come together and talk about it, and that's the reason why the call was overturned, or I guess upheld, since the initial call was an incomplete pass.
I mean, we slowed that thing down and froze it, and we had a hard time seeing it. Xavier Gayton in the game at running back. His first carry off the left side will get 2.5, maybe 3. Cameron James coming off a season-high 6 stops against Texas A&M, makes the tackle there. Gayton, a sophomore running back out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. Jeff Levy talking about his skill set is pretty electric. He'll pick up the first down. Give him 10 on that carry.
Yeah, although he hasn't played a ton, they rave about how fast he is. You can see that speed on display there as he gets the edge and picks up a first down for Mississippi State.
Bulldogs ready to go. 4-man rush over the middle. That one is over the hands of the tight end, Traore. Look at that second Gator secondary, and that has been decimated with injuries. Morgan, what's going on?
Well, after that first series, senior Devin Moore, cornerback, went back to the locker room wincing in pain and upper body injury. They're going to be relying on true freshman Jabari Flowers, guys, in that position.
The only starter on their back end 5 is Bryce Thornton. Second down. Quick throw to the outside. That'll go to Traore. He'll get it close to the 45-yard line. Alfonso Allen in there to make the tackle. They said they were going to try to get Seydu more involved in this game, and they're already targeted him a couple of times. Third down. Here's Thompson, spins. Still on his feet. First down, Bulldogs near the Gator 40. Bryce Thornton finally brings him down. There's a scramble. Boy, Evans now getting into it. Gators thought there might have been a fumble.
I think he was down. That was a dot by Blake Shapen throwing across the field opposite hash to Brennan Thompson, who was lined up basically at the numbers. Long throw for the first down.
Shapen to throw again, has time, goes up top, has an open receiver. Thompson, the guy who runs a 4.3 40, couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, and Blake Shapen, he just missed too far on that one. Just give him a chance. It was a great route. Brennan Thompson fakes like he's running a seam and then takes it into the post. And just too far for his outstretched arms for a guy that runs 4.2, I believe, Dave. I think he's even faster than that 4.3 speed.
He's a 10-1, 100-meter guy, so regardless, elite level. Here goes Gayton off the left side. He gets 2 yards, so looking at a 3rd down coming up. Well, it's almost like that was too open. You know how it is? Like you get the open jump shot. It's just like you're too open. You need somebody.
As you just got to lay it up, though, right? If you get the opportunity, and just get it to him any way possible and let him try to make the play on 3rd down here. You can expect Florida to try to keep everything in front of them, but they got to find pressure to be able to get Blake Shapen to get rid of the ball quickly.
Shapen, pocket collapses. He's dropped back at the 45-yard line. Brian Taylor, Cameron James collapsed the pocket, a loss of 6.
That's a great job by this Florida defense, being able to showcase integrity in their rush lane. Blake Shapen hangs on to the ball. Brian Taylor meets at the quarterback, and that's a sack, something that this Florida defense has been trying to emphasize more as the weeks progress.
Nathan Tice will punt this one away to Vernell Brown. So the Gators get the stop. They have the football at the 12. Offense back on the field when we come back.
SEC football is presented by Sonic. Buy one Sonic Smasher and get a free large drink when you order in the Sonic app. And in part by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
Hey, nothing like a good homecoming parade. Good times here in Gainesville this weekend on the 101st edition of Homecoming. Time now for our Kind of a Big Deal, brought to you by Old Trapper, our impact players. And, well, these guys have already had an impact today.
Yeah, absolutely. Devon Booth, Kelly Jones, expect him to match up with Dallas Wilson and Miles Graham. I expect to see a lot of Dallas Wilson on this drive. The kind of energy and the surge that he's been able to provide since he's played over the past couple of weeks has been infectious, and everybody has talked positively about his impact. Expect DJ Lagway to get him the ball on this drive.
Lagway on that opening drive, 2 out of 6 for 26 yards, but there were a couple of drops in that sequence, and boy, the Bulldogs thought somebody up front moved, and there is a flag.
Yeah, right tackle just jumped too early, Caden Jones.
On the offense, 3. That is a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
You see Caden Jones just takes a step a little too early. That false starting penalties has kind of been the bane of what Florida has been trying to get accomplished from a discipline standpoint, the number of penalties they experience throughout the course of a game.
Aiden Mizell splits out here to the near side. They'll fake it to ball. Quick hitter to the far side of the field, and there is Dallas Wilson. Dallas Wilson up over the 15 out to the 17-yard line for the true freshman out of Tampa, Florida. 6 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns in his debut against Texas. Had that 60-yard electrifying touchdown grab against the Longhorns.
Big explosive playmaker threat on the edge for Florida.
Coming near side, trying to get Wilson to make an unbelievable catch, but he just couldn't hold on. I think as soon as he hit the turf, the impact knocked it out of his hands.
Yeah, and this is the matchup, Kelly Jones, Dallas Wilson, that we wanted to see. One-on-one opportunities. DJ Lagway is going to force it to Dallas Wilson. They think their guy is better than the opposing team's defender, and the ball just comes away from him as he hits the ground. But that matchup is going to be happening all night long.
Now it's 3rd down and 3. Lagway underneath, pass is caught right at the 20-yard line. It's all about, they're going to say incomplete. Incomplete. Wilson couldn't hang on to it. He was smothered by a couple of white jerseys, and now the Gators are going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, and you're going to see they got 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage for Mississippi State trying to confuse DJ Lagway's read, and Dallas Wilson unable to hang on to the football as he's hit and goes down to the ground, and it sets up 4th down deep in their territory for a punt.
Well, you could tell on that possession they really wanted Wilson to get involved.
All 3 plays.
Tommy Doman to punt it away. That will hit at the 42 and take a Gator bounce inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. So good field position now for the Bulldogs after that 45-yard punt. Blake Shapen and company back on the field when we return.
Let's take a look at the last drive for Mississippi State offensively. Blake Shapen overthrows Brennan Thompson, and that missed opportunity cost him points on the boards, which would have been a for sure touchdown. But on third down, they take a sack and ultimately come up empty-handed. We'll see if they try to utilize that downfield throwing threat to try to put this Florida defense back on their heels.
Both these teams were absolutely miserable against Texas A&M. Both these teams, their last game was against the Aggies. They were horrible on third downs. Gators stretched that one out very nicely. Caraway leading the charge. Mississippi State had an average of third down and 11 against A&M 2 weeks ago. Last week, Florida had an average of third down and 9.5.
Shows something about that Texas A&M defense as well.
Gators bringing some pressure. Shapen spins out of it. Looking, fires. Pass caught, first down, Bulldogs on that far sideline. Jordan Mosley just hanging out over there in front of the bench. Nobody saw him.
You're going to see a good block by Devon Booth. Gives Blake Shapen an opportunity to escape the pocket. And for him to be able to have the confidence and poise, finds Mosley. That's a big play.
Handoff goes to Booth. Makes a man miss to the 42-yard line. Boy, I'm watching that secondary of Florida right now. Remember, they are just banged up today. Bryce Thornton, the only starter left out of the back five, and they're just pointing and talking. I mean, they're communicating, but it's like they're a little bit they're not sure. Another wide open man. Thompson to the end zone. Oh, what a play! What a play by Bryce Thornton. Came out of nowhere to knock that one away.
Yeah, and Bryce Thornton covered some ground to be able to get over there. Brennan Thompson seems to be shaking up on that play. You see one-on-one opportunities again. Brennan Thompson wins his route, defeats the defender. Ball's thrown slightly inside. If it's away from the defender, Brennan Thompson has a chance. Otherwise, Bryce Thornton is able to get over there to force that incompletion in the end zone.
Boy, it looked like Thompson hit his head hard on the turf at the end of that play. Young man that is the fastest player on the team and might be the fastest guy in this conference. Had 133 yards receiving against Arizona State. And, of course, that huge play late in the game, the 58-yarder, when he ran by everybody for the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, he possesses some special speed. And obviously, you hope that he's okay as he goes off to the sideline. And now, without him, you got to find who's your go-to guy on third down.
Mario Taylor checks into the game at quarterback on a third down and short. Already has a touchdown today. Taylor takes it himself. He got walloped, but I think he has enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 39, and that will be enough. And then there are a bunch of flags coming in. Childs has his hands up in the air for Florida like he did something.
What a hit, though. Goodness gracious.
Alfonso Allen just laid the wood on Mario Taylor.
A little sandwich. Jaden Robinson getting in the mix as well. That's physical football here in the SEC.
But as soon as that play was over, man, there's 3 flags on the ground. And I saw Childs just raise his hands up. He was kind of in the middle of where those flags were thrown. He was involved in some capacity.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 8. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 76. Those penalties plays will offset. Number 76 will be able to remain in the game due to the helmet foul.
You're going to see Kamario Taylor. They call quarterback counter, and they believe in him. He picks up the first down. But Jaden Robinson and Alfonso Allen gives them something to think about. And then here's your extracurricular after the play. Aaron Childs and Albert Reese get into it. Knocks the helmet off. Offsetting fouls. First down for Mississippi State.
Taylor stays in the game on first down. He'll keep it again, left side. Inside the 35. Drives the pile down to the 32-yard line. Makai Barrow makes the tackle. Taylor can throw it now, 2 out of 3 in his limited work. 46 yards, has a touchdown. As a matter of fact, his first career collegiate pass was a 42-yard touchdown. Gonna run it again here, though. Boy, Alfonso Allen just keeps stepping up. Another big hit by number 43 in blue.
Seeing him stepping up, man, that's kind of what you want to see, right? Next man up mentality. 3rd and short, keeping Kamario Taylor in. The expectation, he's ran the ball twice before. Going to crowd the line, but alert Seydou Traore right up the middle of the field on a bluff.
Taylor tripped up in the backfield. Again, Alfonso Allen slicing in to make a great defensive play.
Alfonso Allen is playing on fire right now. You got quarterback being able to take the keeper one-on-one. Allen says not happening today and gets the stop on 3rd down.
Blake Shapen in the game at quarterback on 4th down and 2. Shapen tries to run it. Jaden Robinson making a play for the Gators, and they'll get the football on downs.
The combination of Alfonso Allen and Jaden Robinson is a dynamic duo in this game. You see him take on the block, shed it easily, and then get to Blake Shapen and stop his momentum right in his tracks, then bring him down for a huge Gator stop. That's what you want to see from the defense, playing physical, nasty football for this Florida team.
See if the Gator offense can ride the momentum of that stop. DJ Lagway, 3 out of 9, 38 yards to start this game. Amir Jackson, the tight end, sets up on the right side. Lagway coming back to the left side. There's Ball. Cuts it back, makes some guys miss, and he's to the 43-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Gators, a gain of 12. Bingley Jones finally brings him down. Boy, that's an elusive running back at 231 pounds.
Yeah, coming into the game, breaking 47 tackles, which ranked 3rd in the conference. He's been phenomenal in that category.
Lagway hit as he throws. Pass caught there by J. Michael Sturdivant. He's out of bounds after a gain of 5. Wait for Florida to maybe take one of those deep shots here.
Yeah, you're setting it up. You got to be able to run it consistently. Play action is typically when they take their deep shots to be able to force the issue. We'll see if Jaden Ball gets the ball here again in his 2nd and 6 opportunity.
Sturdivant comes near side. Ball your tailback out of that pistol formation. I'll hand it off to Jaden Ball. Ball across midfield. He'll pick up 4. It'll be 3rd down and short. See if the Gators want to run another play here before they get into the first quarter. Third and a yard. Fake it to Ball. Lagway trying to dump it off underneath. Has a man. Aiden Mizell, first down,
That's
Florida.
the end of the first quarter.
So the Bulldogs lead at 7-3 after 15 minutes of play.
Yeah, and the only touchdown has come from Kamario Taylor, utilizing his legs. But the Gators, they're finding some momentum on that pickup. First down.
$38 points in the first half in Athens. Here's Lagway trying to put some points on the board for the Gators. Spins out of trouble, slings it far side. Pass caught there by Mizell. Still on his feet, 8 into the 20 and drop first down, Florida. 17-yard pickup.
Yeah, what a throw by DJ Lagway. You get pressure late from his backside. Is able to roll out of the pocket across his body, still throw it to the sideline. That's just incredible awareness, being able to roll out of the pocket and then showcase that accuracy on the move, going away from the body. Yeah, that's what people wanted to see from DJ Lagway all season.
10 catches on the year for Mizell. Hand it off to Ball. Cuts it back to the 5. Looking for the goal line, and he finds it. Touchdown, Florida. 19 yards. Jaden Ball.
Exceptional run by Jaden Ball. I feel like one of the most underrated ball carriers in the conference, being able to put his speed, size, and athletic ability on display with that run to put the Gators on top.
Trey Smack to attempt the point after. He is now connected on 89 consecutive PATs. You see how I waited until after it went through? Veteran move on my part.
Well, this guy, he's playing like a veteran as a sophomore, showcasing his dynamic ability and what he's brought to the table for this Florida offense. Dynamic.
Gators have taken the lead here in the second quarter. Mississippi State, by the way, still hasn't given up a touchdown in the first quarter this year, but it didn't take long for the Gators to strike here in the second quarter as they lead it by 3. Boy, Jaden Ball is some kind of guy to try to wrestle to the turf. Just an exceptional running back. Averaging 5 yards per carry this year. Just picked up his 4th touchdown of the season. That one will sail into the hedges in the end zone. Let's get an injury update. Let's go down to Morgan.
Well, early in the first quarter, we saw senior cornerback Devin Ward taken back to the locker room, wincing in pain. He was grabbing that right collarbone. And guys, he's now sitting on the bench right next to Jordan Castell, also out today with an ice pack on that right collarbone area. And Ron Roberts told us, earlier this year, that's their best cover guy. So certainly a big loss for their secondary.
Man, what a tough way to go, especially playing an offense like Mississippi State's. Again, just the only starter that's on that back end. The normal starter is Bryce Thornton. Four-man rush. Pass caught there by Anthony Evans III. By the way, Brennan Thompson, number 0 for Mississippi State, left the field. Looked like he was a little wobbly. He's back there. He lines up in stack formation on the far side, blocking now for Evans. Evans makes that catch. Miles Graham hustles out to make the play. So now you're looking at 3rd down and 5.
It's one of the things about tempo. You can't go fast until you get the first down. And this is a critical 3rd down on this drive. You don't want to get the ball back to Florida with the momentum they created scoring last time they had the ball.
Shapen, pocket collapses. somehow avoids disaster and then finally drops. Mbachu, the first one there, then Bett came to clean it up. A loss of 6.
Yeah, you're going to see Mbachu right in the middle of your screen, showcasing his dominance, being able to get the twist around. He comes free, not able to bring Blake Shapen down, but he sets up the opportunity for his teammate, Brendan Bett, to be able to finish the job, and Florida gets a big sack.
Here is Pulliam, the left-footed punter for Mississippi State, taken by VB3, and he's immediately wrapped up. A 53-yard punt. No return. Gators with the football, up by 3. This guy's looking hungry. He wants a little bit more. I'd give it to him. Let's take a look at For the Win, brought to you by Sanderson's Farms. Boy, you know, around these parts, you got to have a bunch of big wins. And some of them have occurred here in the Swamp. Florida, under Billy Napier, beat Tennessee back in 2023. Of course, Ole Miss last year here in the Swamp, as the Gators on that little tear they were on at the end of the season, winning 5 of 6. And then, of course, had a huge win. People thought that maybe the Gators had figured things out, beating Texas pretty soundly here in Gainesville. But there just haven't been as many as these folks want. Started the year in 2023. Got off to a good start that season. Here's Lagway. Going deep down the middle. Passes caught. Vernell Brown III. There's the big hitter we were looking for. 49 yards.
It's the power play action. Jaden Ball gets everybody to suck up, thinking it's counter. And then DJ Lagway showcasing that ability of the deep ball accuracy. And we talked about him hitting his stride in this offense. Well, that's a direct correlation of him being healthy and finding his guys downfield to make a big play.
From the 28. Lagway looking left, now to the middle. Has a man, that one is picked off. Brylan Lanier stepped right in front of the receiver. Out over the 30 to the 34. The 9th interception of the year for the Bulldogs. They have a pick in every single game this season. Hayden Hansen looked like he was open for a minute, and then there's Lanier.
Yeah, Lanier does a great job of trying to sink it and force DJ Lagway to throw this. But for DJ Lagway, that ball has to come out right now. As soon as he clears the linebacker, and DJ Lagway being late on the throw, it opens up the opportunity for Brylan Lanier to be able to undercut that throw in the red zone and then get some good positive yardage after the interception.
Well, that's number 8 on the year for DJ Lagway, who leads the conference now in interceptions. Little razzle-dazzle. Here comes Brennan Thompson. Gators stretch that one out extremely well. He's to the 32, and there's Alfonso Allen again making a play, a loss of 2. Let's go down to Morgan.
Offensive line coach for Mississippi State, Phil Lodehold, ripped into his offensive line, inspiring them, saying we can't waste any more drives. And quarterback Blake Shapen telling me this week that that's what he's most impressed by, the way they can just take these honest conversations with themselves, guys.
Bulldogs try to take advantage of that turnover after the Gators had a big play to set them up in fantastic position. Now it's Shapen over the middle. This one's caught to the 45 and thrown down as Thompson at the 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 for the Bulldogs.
That was an absolute laser. The offensive line gives Blake Shapen a pocket. He's able to deliver strikes like he was there for the first down.
Shapen falls into Gator territory. Alfonso Allen again will get credit for the tackle. How about this young man Allen right here? He had 7 tackles in the first quarter, 4 solo. Entered today with 14 career tackles in 29 career games. He started at Baylor collegiately. Doesn't get credit for this tackle on a big run from Devon Booth. Laganza Hayward, the true freshman in the back end, will get the tackle after a 16-yard pickup. Here's Evans breaking some tackles and falls inside the 20. Ben Hanks III. Boy, we're calling some names we didn't think we'd be calling today.
Yeah, and this is where tempo really gets you is defense is out of breath. You got to communicate quickly, and in doing it with guys that haven't been out there before, it makes it very difficult. You got to be locked in at this point in time.
Sophomore Miles Graham trying to help those guys out on the back end as much as he can. That outstanding linebacker for the Gators. He and Jaden Robinson, along with Aaron Childs, on first down. They'll go with Booth again, right through the middle of that line. He's down to the 16-yard line. Jeff Levy and this offense, this spread offense, a derivative of what Art Briles created. See a lot of these guys, Josh Heupel, very similar, two guys that know each other well, but on the same staff.
Very rarely do you see them huddle like they did.
Gayton in at running back. Evans goes in motion. Little delay handoff to Gayton, tries to kick it, lost the football. Gators have it. Jaden Woods comes up with the football.
That's exactly what this Florida defense needed in a time where they were giving up big chunk plays, getting tired on the field. Gayton, the young guy that hasn't had much of an opportunity, Brian Taylor knocks it loose, carrying the ball with only one arm on it. And you see Brian Taylor's arm there, forces the ball out, and then Jaden Woods, the freshman, able to come away with a big play on that drive to get this Florida offense back on the football field.
Both teams have turned it over deep into their opponent's territory. Ball the running back. To the middle of the field. Boy, Brylan Lanier just got his left arm out there, just enough to trip up ball, but that's another 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, Jaden Baugh is the workhorse for this offense, man. We keep talking about how special of an individual he is. This late in the season, the football team kind of rides on his back offensively. As he goes, the offense is able to produce in a very significant way.
Little tap pass goes to VB3. Vernell Brown to the 40-yard line. That'll be another Gator first down after he picks up 12. Manning, the team's leading tackler, gets him on the turf.
See, Florida using their own variation of the tempo to try to keep this Mississippi State defense a little off balance, not knowing what's going to come next.
Ball to left side. Big hole. Jaden Ball to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Florida. 60 yards. There is a flag back at the 42-yard line.
It's a 10-yard penalty. It is first down.
What an unfortunate turn of events for Florida, and what a great break for Mississippi State.
Yeah, check the right side of your screen. You see number 3, the receiver they're calling holding right over there. The jersey pull, Jerron Manning wasn't able to get off of the block because of the impediment of the jersey hold, which brings back a touchdown in a back-breaking play that this offense needed in this moment.
Well, they're going to give Jaden Ball a break after that 60-yard gallop that was called back. KD Daniels in at running back. They'll fake it to KD. Lagway stays on his feet to midfield and slides out of bounds. He'll pop back up. Deontay Anderson pushes him out of bounds. Close to the line to gain, but I don't think he's quite there.
Yeah, he kind of takes flight. Anderson pushes him, and Lagway has nowhere to fall as he jumps up into the air. Landed awkwardly, but is able to get up and set up an opportunity for 2nd and short.
Boy, a lot of options right here at midfield for Billy Napier on 2nd down and short. They're just going to try to get this first down. They'll get a couple extra yards in the process to the Bulldog 45-yard line. Jet Jefferson, the first one there. KD Daniels, the redshirt freshman out of West Point High School, West Point, Mississippi. Looking on his, you could say, hometown team. Not too far away from Starkville is West Point. Hand off right side to KD. Isaac Smith making the tackle, pickup of 7. Boy, you see Isaac Smith out there. We didn't know for sure how much we'd see him today. Led the conference in tackles last year, but bothered by an injury. Looked good in pregame warm-ups or getting him a run here. They were like, hey, if we can get 20 plays out of him, that would be fantastic. I think they've gotten more than 20 today.
Absolutely. He's been playing well. He looks really good. I think that's a testament to his regimen to be able to get ready for this week. Excuse me.
There's Lagway looking left, stays left, waits for somebody to get open, and it's the tight end, Amir Jackson. This time he is out of bounds. He holds on to the football, but out of bounds at the 20. He dropped one in the end zone back in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here. He does bobble it, but does he maintain possession the second time he tries to catch it? And we can't really tell from that angle, but it's very close. You got to believe that play will go under review to see if he was able to hold on to that football for the second time. And here's a better look at it. See, he bobbles it to begin with, but then appears to actually maintain possession. Still has that left foot on the ground.
Does he's in the air, left foot, let's see, left foot, right foot, and
right
we
foot.
Can't see, like, we don't know the bobble.
Yeah, that angle. That angle makes it a little bit tough. And here we go. Bobbles it initially. That right foot is going to be the best bet, actually. It appears he may have secured the catch at that time. Right foot appears still on the ground from that look. Is there anything you saw, Dave?
Boy, it's one of those, again, it goes back to, it's so close. The ruling on the field was incomplete. And do you have conclusive, indisputable video evidence to overturn the play? I'm not sure you have that there. If it was just me, I'd give him the catch.
Yeah.
Just if we were playing in the backyard, I'd say, yeah.
Get a little toe tap swag in there. I think he does. That right foot stays down long enough after the first bobble that I think he secures it. And for confidence, that would help him after missing that catch in the end zone. For him, he'd be probably upset if this one doesn't get overturned.
I'd give it to him.
After review, the player did have firm control with his right foot inbounds. Therefore, it's a catch. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Some taps on the chest and a deep breath by Amir Jackson.
Do have to say, Russ Callaway was in his bag on that play, being able to utilize the short screen and get Amir Jackson to be able to stutter and then release to the outside. That's why he was so wide open and had the opportunity to basically bobble it and still come down with the catch.
So the Gators going to go with a 2 tight end look here with Jackson and Hayden Hanson on the field on a 1st down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Lagway going to the end zone, incomplete. J. Michael Sturdivant defended by Diego Brumfield. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that ball was slightly underthrown to J. Mike Sturdivant. Lagway looking for the back shoulder throw. And it just hits the back of Brumfield as he was in tight coverage. The missed opportunity there in the end zone.
Jaden Ball back in the game. He'll split out here to the near side. Mississippi State getting in some substitutions late. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. And Florida's going to have to take a timeout.
Florida takes their church timeout.
Billy Napier not happy about the Gators subbing late on that possession, forcing a timeout. They're driving up 3. Coming up tonight at 7:45 on the SEC Network, 16th-ranked Missouri squares off against Auburn from Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's also available on the all-new ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. And don't forget that coming up after that game, it's SEC football final. Dari and the boys will break down everything that has happened today. Already been a crazy day. How about the Vanderbilt Commodores? Came in as a favorite over LSU and proved the folks who decide those things right with a big win at home in Nashville. Jaden Ball off the right side. Not much there for Jaden. Trevion Williams, the man they call Bam Bam, making the play for the Bulldogs.
3rd down in the red zone. We already saw Coleman Hutzler line 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage. I expect this to be another one of those looks. Last time they dropped out. This time I expect them to be able to send some pressure and get the ball out of DJ Lagway's hands. You see all of them there.
So 3rd down and 7 now. Lagway takes it himself off the left side. Crowd not happy with that, but I gotta think that Billy Napier was thinking this is a 2-down territory anyway. Would be the only reason I think he would run that, but here comes the field goal unit.
I don't know, they tried to catch him in a blitz. A lot of times when you run the quarterback run, you get +1, and if you blitz and hit it in the right spot, you can really gain a huge advantage there. Mississippi State was up for the task and shut down the thought process of DJ Lagway picking up the 1st down with his legs pretty early on.
33-yard attempt from Trey Smack, hit from 24 earlier. This will be out of the hold of punter Tommy Toman. Rocco Underwood, his 4th year as a long snapper. We'll have to wait a moment because a flag comes down.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Goodness. So this changes it to a 38-yarder. Good clean snap, and that kick is right through the upright. So the Gators will add 3 more, but there's a penalty flag down.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 70 on the kicking team. That's a 15-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
Oh my gosh, 20 yards in penalties. This is going to turn out to be like a 53-yarder now.
You're going to see him right in the center of your screen. On contact, hands comes right up to the face right there and gets in that face mask area. The official saw that, and like Dave said, that's an additional 15 yardage on top of the 5 yardage due to the delay of game to force a much harder field goal now for Trey Smack.
Trey Smack's long this year's 56. Hit that in the opener. This will be from 54. And he's got it. Trey Smack stepping to the plate. He made it from 33. He made it from 38. He says, hey, I'll just go ahead and make it from 54. What the heck?
So you can up the difficulty. Result will still be the same. Trey Smack actually smacked the ball and had room to spare on that 54-yard attempt. Fired up, too, after that, Dave. That's what you want to see.
The senior kicker has now made 11 straight after that struggle in week 1 for his career. He is now 21 out of 29. And that kick will sail into the back of the end zone. So the Gators lead it 13-7. The Bulldogs scored on that opening drive. Billy Napier trying to get his team back into their winning ways after what has been a difficult start. You see, back in 2022, boy, everybody got excited. They faced Utah, won that one, finished up 6-7 on the year. Last year, they got off to a real slow start, but then finished strong and brought back, the key ingredients, and everybody got all excited again. But that South Florida loss here in week 2 in the swamp certainly left you scratching your head. Now, certainly USF, a pretty good football team, but nonetheless, nobody thought Florida would be sitting here at 2-4 right now. That handoff goes to Devon Booth off the right side. We talked a little bit about it in the open, though, just from a player's perspective. I mean, do you think these kids hear all that? I mean, are they, you can tell them not to pay attention to social media, but you think they know?
Oh, they hear it. Yeah. They hear it, whether it's on campus or around the school, there's rumblings.
I had a chance to see Florida's athletic director, Scott Strickland, this week, Thursday, over in Birmingham, and we talked about it. There was an article written last week that certainly stirred the pot up. Shapen going up top. And that one is caught. What a catch by Thompson. They will spot it back at the 17-yard line. That'll be a 43-yard pickup.
What a beautiful strike down to Thompson. There's no overthrowing him on that play. Catches him in stride, and Ben Hanks, all he could do is try to catch up as best he can.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
I'll finish that thought about Scott Strickland and what we talked about this week when we return after this timeout. All right, guys, here we go. First down for the Bulldogs inside the 20-yard line. They'll give it to Booth. That goes nowhere. But anyway, just to finish that conversation I had with Scott Strickland, the AD, he told me that this article that came out.
Second timeout.
earlier this week about him having a meeting with a bunch of boosters, Florida Gator boosters, who would determine that this was it for Billy Napier, was completely false. That meeting never occurred, and that decisions like this regarding the Florida Gator head coach will be made in his office and not with outside influences. That's just what he told me. I go with it. I've known him forever. And he even told the reporter in that situation that he never had a meeting with the boosters. So that's where we are. I mean, who knows if Billy Napier will be here tomorrow or not. But I don't think that decision has been made.
Yeah. I think ultimately the only thing that man cares about right now is winning this football game.
Absolutely. It was this time last year that they went on a run to win 5 of the last 6.
Yep.
Homecoming against Kentucky. Handoff Booth. Boy, it looked like there was a hole there for a moment, and it closed in a hurry. Joseph Mbachu steps up, the true freshman, making a play.
Yeah, big play there.
30 seconds.
You get the timeout for a 3rd down, and this is an opportunity for Jeff Levy to draw up something for his playmakers. Seydou Traore may be the guy. We haven't seen him featured much so far, but in the red zone, that's where Blake Shapen likes to feed him the ball. It's just an opportunity. You see him on a wheel route or possibly one-on-one matchup in the slot to be able to take advantage.
It'll be 3rd and 11. Bulldogs have scored 95% of the time in the red zone, 17 touchdowns and 22 attempts. And a flag comes out. Some movement by the Bulldogs.
Offense, number 52, 5-yard penalty. It is 3rd down.
The first penalty against the Bulldogs this afternoon.
Yeah, you see Flinch's left guard, Zach Owens, not able to hold his water, pushes him back 5 yards.
Shapen has time to the end zone, has a man and overthrows him. Jerron Glover made the catch in the back of the end zone, tumbles over some ladders. An incomplete pass. Shapen just too much on it.
Yeah, and again, that's another ball that Shapen wishes he can have back. Offensive line gave him the opportunity. Glover won in the back of the end zone. The ball's not even in play for Jerron Glover to make that attempt in the back of the end zone.
Those ladders back there, I assume, are for the Gator band coming up at halftime. Here's a 41-yard field goal attempt from Kyle Ferry. No good. No good. The Gators get the stop. Well, that looked like that went right over the top of the crossbar, didn't it? I mean, the upright.
The upright. It looked like it went over the upright. It's a better look at it again. It's so hard to tell. The officials look at each other and both agree. And this is a good angle. We can't tell exactly where the ball is whenever it does appear over that upright. Maybe it's already past it. Kyle Ferry obviously thought he made it. The holder believes he made it, but officials say, nah. And Billy Napier's defense, they get the stop on that field goal attempt.
Florida with 1:36 on the clock, but no timeouts left. Handed to Ball, breaks another tackle. Of course, came in among the best in FBS at breaking tackles. He's surpassed 50 after the first half here.
They got to get on the line quickly. Try to get the ball out of DJ Lagway's hands fast and picking up a first down and getting out of bounds.
3-man front by Mississippi State. Lagway, a little sidearm toss, gets it to his tight end, and Hayden Hansen at 6'8", 270 pounds, tries to run over Brylan Lanier, who stood in there and held his ground.
You get the first down. That's what you got to have in 2-minute drill, is get that first down. Now you're rolling.
Hand it off to Ball. He's out over the 40 to the 41. Malik Silla will get credit for the tackle. Pickup of 7. Gators got to keep going here. Clock under 45 seconds now. Again, no timeouts for Florida. Hansen out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. 35 seconds. And that'll be a Gator first down.
Keep taking what the defense gives you in this instance. With 35 seconds, defense is playing for a deep shot. You're going to get some of those 5-6 yard out routes to be able to open up something down the field. But don't get too impatient forcing it before it calls for you to try to take that long, deep shot.
Lagway pump fakes, just throws it out of bounds. Lagway at one point was 3 out of 9 in the first quarter. He is 12 out of 21 now through the air for 178 yards. Does have an interception.
Here's where if you throw anything in play in the middle of the field, it has to be beyond the sticks to be able to stop the ball and try to give yourself opportunity, spike it to keep the clock from running.
Ball goes in motion to the wide side of the field. 3-man rush. Lagway avoids some traffic. Trying to get out of bounds, and he'll do so. There's 21 seconds now, being chased out of there by Silla.
It's a good job by DJ Lagway getting out of bounds, picking up some positive yardage, but that ate up 9 seconds, which is critical in this moment to try to get in field goal range for Trey Smack.
Again, Trey Smack has a career-long 56-yarder. It's the longest in the SEC this year. Maybe get it. Maybe pick up about another 10 yards or so to give him at least a shot at it. Intercepted. Intercepted by Brylan Lanier. Stepped right in front of the window and came up with a huge turnover.
Yeah, and Brylan Lanier does a great job of stepping in front of that pass. You can see DJ Lagway looks to the left for his first read. It wasn't there, so he goes to his second read, but on a 3-step drop, it is way too late to be able to try to get it to your second read. And Lanier is the beneficiary of being able to capitalize off of that late read by DJ Lagway.
Lanier's second interception of the game, his third of the season. Bulldogs do have 3 timeouts left. "17 seconds to go." Down the middle, and nobody's home there.
Trying to get it to Traore over the middle of the field. Excellent coverage there. Miles Graham just running with him. It's the open spot with 3 timeouts. The middle of the field is wide open in play for Blake Shapen as they can immediately call a timeout. But you got to have a better pass and an opportunity for your playmakers to make a play for you.
Shapen trying to get out of trouble and can't do it. He's dropped back at the 35-yard line. Cameron James will get credit for the sack. That'll do it for the first half. 13-7 our score. Coming up at halftime, don't forget you can watch the live performance of the Pride of the Sunshine Marching Band on SEC Network Plus and start streaming that right now. The Gators put together their highest offensive output of the year 298 yards of offense in the first half, but only 13 points on the board, and they lead it by 6. Let's go down to Morgan.
Coach, a second interception there for your quarterback, DJ Lagway. How would you evaluate his first half?
Well, we got almost 300 yards of offense. We've had 2 turnovers on the plus side of the field. We've given up a couple deep balls, right? We got 2 rookie corners out there playing, gave up a couple shots. But in general, we're moving it a lot. We got to capitalize on our opportunities.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, had some opportunities. Still take a lead into the break. So with that, it is halftime. Time to get to the studio. Update of what's going on around the country. Here's Dari Noka. Dari. You're watching SEC Network football presented by Sonic. Back at Steve Spurrier Florida Field, where the Gators lead it by 6, 13-7 over Mississippi State. Dave Neal, Fozzie Whitaker back with you here at the Swamp, where a little bit of a, I guess you could say, sloppy first half. Nonetheless, very competitive at that as we take a look at our experts for work, brought to you by our friends at Principal. Defense kind of ruled the day.
Yeah, they've been opportunistic, and it started off with Florida being able to create a new line of scrimmage. Haven't really been known for getting sacks, but they've been able to do that in this first half and then create turnovers. That's what the name of the game is. You see Florida forced a turnover. Mississippi State capitalizes on an interception, and then Lanier capitalizes yet again before halftime on a second pick of a late throw by DJ Lagway.
DJ Lagway up to 9 interceptions this season. Of course, 5 of those came against LSU. Blake Shapen, he missed some open targets as well. Neither one of these quarterbacks were extremely sharp. They did both have some big plays down the field, but all told, defense kind of ruled the first half in terms of creating some turnovers. So now the Gators have the opening possession of this third quarter. And if you're certainly both teams, you feel like you left some points out there.
Yeah.
Plenty of missed opportunities.
Well, we saw Jaden Ball get loose kind of at the end of that second quarter. I expect him to still be featured quite a bit in this second half as they go to their workhorse to try to establish a run game.
First down and 10. Here's Ball, can't hang on to the pass. It'll be incomplete. Well, Morgan, you had a chance to catch up with Jeff Lebby. What did he have to say?
Well, right out of the locker room, his main message to his defense was, we have to do a better job of getting quarterback DJ Lagway to the ground. He's made plays and has been able to extend drives with his feet. So that's the calling card from his defense in the second half.
This defense has certainly made a huge jump from a year ago. Gave up almost 300 yards in that first half, but still only 13 points on the board. Well, they got to get this guy on the ground. He talked about getting Lagway on the ground. You got to. Jaden Ball certainly is one tough sucker to get on the turf.
That's what you like to see from a running back, running physical, picking up some good quality yardage. It makes it for a third down to be manageable for this offense. See them all at the line of scrimmage yet again.
8 up at the line for Mississippi State. Lagway will throw. Going up top, trying to find Dallas Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Coverage on the outside by Kelly Jones, who might be one of the few guys on this field that can run with Dallas Wilson.
Yeah, and Kelly Jones done a great job anytime he's been matched up with Dallas Wilson. Another incompletion there. Didn't really get an opportunity on the ball, but the coverage was so tight. Kelly Jones has been like that all day on that side of the ball.
And now Anthony Evans, the third, back to return this punt. An electrifying return man in his own right. He'll make a fair catch at the 25-yard line. Let's talk about this week's secret recipe, brought to you by Bush's Grill and Beans.
Well, you had 3 opportunities to be able to connect on the deep shot, and Blake Shapen could not connect. Brendan Thompson right there for a sure touchdown. That would have been. Ball sails on the inside instead of the outside, and another missed opportunity, and right before halftime, just sending Jerron Glover out of the back of the end zone. 3 opportunities they could have capitalized for that recipe for success.
And let's not forget the 60-yard touchdown that Jaden Ball had that was called back.
Yep.
Flagged out on this play. Nowhere to run for Seydou Traore.
Legal shift on the offense, number 3 and number 0. 5-yard penalty. It is first down.
Thompson and Evans, you guys didn't get set.
And you see all the guys are motioning out, trying to get lined up for their position. Brendan Thompson, the bottom of the screen, still wasn't set. You got to be set for 1 count, then you can snap the ball legally.
Devon Booth in the backfield, but they will get it to Aiden Williams, and he is blasted around the 22-yard line. Jaden Robinson making the tackle.
Yeah, they are hitting physically. Jaden Robinson hit him so hard his shoe came off on that last hit.
Chapin's numbers, 10 of 16, 160. Last week, or in their last game against A&M, he was 15 of 20. Here goes Anthony Evans, and they stretch it out nicely. The Gators played that extremely well. Lagonza Hayward, one of 3 true freshmen playing in the back end, along with Ben Hanks III and Javari Flowers, because of injuries, making that play.
Yeah, you're going to see Hayward flash on the right side of your screen. Miles Graham forces that play out, and then he sets the edge and picks up a nice TFL for this Florida defense.
3rd and long. Chapin. Pass caught by Thompson, nowhere to go. Thompson swallowed up there by that one of those freshmen we were just talking about, or excuse me, Miles Graham out there, along with Ben Hanks. Ben Hanks, that freshman, getting the start over Cormani McLean today. Ben Hanks III, the freshman out of Overtown, Florida, Booker T. Washington High School. Flag down again. Well, we've been saying that a lot today, but a booming kick from Pulliam. That'll get even better. It'll nestle inside the 10 down to around the 7-yard line. A massive punt, but we'll see what happens here. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, the Gators will definitely want to.
Illegal formation. 5 or more in the backfield on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. It is 4th down.
Well, that waves off a 64-yard punt and would have had the Gators pinned inside the 10. Jeff Levy over there looking for some answers.
Yeah, and you see just right along the end of that line, they keep creeping further and further back. That helmet's not breaking the waist of the center or the long snapper, and the official throws the flag immediately, seeing that they weren't close enough to the line of scrimmage for that play to be legal.
So Pulliam back again. Former Mississippi State Bulldog baseball player with another booming kick. This one will bounce out of bounds around the 22. So a 20-yard pickup for the Florida Gators. They lead it by 6. Boy, it's a gorgeous day here in Gainesville. Beautiful campus. More football coming up on the other side. Boy, big day of volleyball on ESPN tomorrow. Pitt, Louisville, and there's the Gators and the Cats coming your way. Strange to see the Gators without a ranking next to their name. Kentucky, though, once again among the country's elite, ranked 3rd in the country. Here's Jaden Ball. Red Hibbler will get credit for the tackle.
That left side of the offensive line for Florida has really been creating some big holes and opportunity for Jaden Ball to take advantage of. And that's how you stay ahead of the chains on first down.
So 2nd and 6. Oh, what a catch from Wilson. Breaks a tackle to midfield inside Bulldog territory, inside the 45-yard line. First time we've seen him shake free today. Hunter Washington dragging him to the turf, a gain of 23.
Great job by Jaden Ball seeing the blitz, and same way for DJ Lagway, getting the ball out quickly to his first read. And then Dallas Wilson, fingertip catch, makes a guy miss as well. Showcases that athleticism as a true freshman bursting on the scene.
Quick throw again to the outside. Vernell Brown will get it inside the 40. Hunter Washington again with the tackle for Mississippi State, but you know, the three-headed monster offensively with Jaden Ball, Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III. Certainly game-changing type players. Hoping they can change this one and give Florida a little cushion here, only up 6.
Expect pressure by Mississippi State.
Pressure comes, Lagway dropped. Isaac Smith pulls him to the turf.
You're going to see one-on-one. That offensive lineman doesn't get a chance to get Isaac Smith onto the ground, and Isaac Smith takes advantage and picks up a sack for Mississippi State.
First TFL today for this Bulldog defense. Very similar to Florida. They don't have a whole lot of sacks or TFLs, but yet their points per game allowed, very respectable. Lagway dumps it off at the last moment, and we're going to say he'll be down at the 42-yard line.
And you're going to see they're bluffing these two guys on the inside. They're actually going to bring him around to be able to fool the offense, thinking it's coming up at the middle. You get a free rusher. DJ Lagway is forced to get the ball out quickly, well short of the sticks, which leads to 4th down.
So Anthony Evans back to return the punt from Tommy Doman. High end over end kick. Fair catch called for at the 13-yard line, and that is where Mississippi State has it. Bulldog defense trying to keep it in, keep the offense in this game. Blake Shapen and company back on the field, down 6.
That was a jack receiver.
I think he's like isn't he like a scratch golfer or something now? Like I see,
really?
Yeah, like he's a low handicap dude. Like he plays a ton of golf.
Jeez.
Back in the swamp, Steve Spurrier, Florida Field. It is a 13-6 ball game. Florida hanging on. Mississippi State scored on their opening possession. They went 7 plays and 75 yards. That's it for them on the scoreboard. They are backed up here. Boy, Miles Graham. Boy, talking to him yesterday, what a treat, what a joy. Played for his dad in high school and said his dad was tough as nails on him. And I said, did it bother you? And he was like, no. And I said, would you ever say anything? He looked at me like, are you crazy?
Said he would have been on the bench if he did.
Heck no. Here goes Booth to the outside, and he is stuffed around the 17-yard line. But Miles Graham, certainly one of those great guys. You just love talking to guys. He is so much about the team. It wasn't about Miles. It was about everybody else in the building.
Yeah, and everything that he talked about, he reflected about the people around him. And that shows you the leadership as a true sophomore of the type of belief everybody has in him for him to be such a special player.
Chapin gets the pass off. He goes to Anthony Evans, the third, and he'll have the first down out over the 30. Evans, boy, had to backpedal a little bit, but then the effort got him the first down and 13 yards.
Such a dynamic player, man. Anthony Evans, get him the ball, good things happen.
He'll go with Booth off the left side. A little bit of a seam there, and he's to the 38-yard line. So a good gain on first down of 7.5. Childs and Graham make the stop for the Gators. Pass is caught. Brennan Thompson. Thompson with his 5th catch today. That's a gain of 9. Evans has 6 catches for 78 yards. Blake Chapin now 14 out of 20. 190 yards. Pressure comes off the edge. And the Gators bottle up Devon Booth.
Yeah, Ron Roberts calls up the nickel blitz. Able to get a stop. And 2nd and long now. You expect Blake Chapin to get the ball out of his hands quickly, maybe on a quick wide receiver screen or running back screen to try to get some of that yardage that they just lost and put him more in the 3rd and manageable situation.
That is the 9th TFL by the Gator defense. They came in 14th in the league in tackles for loss. They get another one here on a sack. Kofi Asara with the sack for the Florida Gators. A loss of 7. Back-to-back losses for this Mississippi State offense.
And you're going to see lining up right to the left of the screen, one-on-one with Albert Reese. He's able to just push him back with a bull rush, and that is enough pressure to get Blake Chapin off of his spot. Unable to see it, Blake Chapin falls, and that's a sack for this Florida defense.
4 sacks for a team that came in with just 9. 6 of those came against Texas. 3rd and forever. They'll give it to Booth. Devon Booth spins. He gets to midfield. He'll pick up 14 yards. Childs finally drags him down, but kind of you're right there in the midfield, and now you got like kind of a 4th and manageable. They're going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, expect a no play here. Going to see if they can get Florida to jump.
Well, they did get the Gators to move, but nobody on Mississippi State moved. There's the snap. It's going to be a little pooch punt. Chapin. Oh, it takes a Mississippi State bounce. This is going to work out perfectly for the Bulldogs. Down at the 7-yard line. That'll go as a 43-yard punt by Chapin. Six-point game here in Gainesville. Back on the other side. Well, we talked about the 3 important factors on this Gator offense. Jaden Ball, Vernell Brown III, Dallas Wilson, they're the numbers today. And Ball's even had a 60-yarder called back. Wilson just had his first big catch a little while ago, a 24-yarder. In 2 games, Wilson with 3 touchdown catches, none today. Gators backed up inside the 10. Lagway throws on the run and just airmails that into the Bulldog bench. Nobody was even close. Wilson was somewhere in the vicinity, but no chance to even catch it or make an effort.
Yeah, it appears like DJ Lagway was trying to make a call.
Well, you know what happened? There was a whistle that stopped the play. There was movement up front. That's so Dallas Wilson was on that sideline where the flag was thrown, so he saw it and didn't run his route. Handoff to Jaden Ball. Oh, he came close to picking up an extra 10, 15 yards. Manning, though, hanging on for dear life, drags him down.
Yeah, the patience by Jaden Ball. And you got duo here where you got double teams across the board and then just let Jaden Ball find open space. That's what he's really good at, showcases that ability to be able to break through the line of scrimmage.
Ball with a new career high rushing, 13 carries, 112 yards. His third 100-yard game this season, fourth of his career. His previous high was 107 against Texas a few weeks back. Did that on 27 carries. Oh, he's got a bunch more now. He's out over the 30 to the 32. Ron Manning making another tackle. But that's a gain of 12 for Ball.
Yeah, and that's your workhorse right there. That man is blinking impact player. If you played NCAA back in the day, feed that man the rock and let him keep doing what he's been doing all day long.
Give it to him again. Boy, he picks up 5.5, 6 yards on that carry. He'll take a break right now. Remember, they're down two talented backs, Duke Clark, Jacoby Jackson. So really it's been Jaden Ball today, and KD Daniels has a touch of work. We're talking to coaches about this, Billy Napier and Russ Callaway, the OC, about how do you pace Jaden Ball. And they're like, hey, man, there's no pacing when it comes to Jaden Ball. Just give it to him when you need to. KD Daniels in the backfield. They'll fake it to him. Lagway steps up in that pocket, fires, incomplete. Oh, they were trying to hit Vernell Brown the third. He bounces off a couple of Bulldog defenders. One of those on the back end, Hunter Washington, a little wobbly. He's going to head to that sideline.
And that's DJ Lagway again, forcing this window that's not there. Hunter Washington does a great job of dropping into his zone and then following the eyes of Lagway. And that can lead to bad, disastrous things happening for the Florida offense.
Lagway, high throw, pass is caught at the 45-yard line. Oh, incomplete. Vernell Brown, slow to get up. It's almost like he's got a hurt hand, perhaps.
Yeah, Lagway puts the ball up high. He goes up and gets it, but Lanier.
Well, that should be a catch. Yeah, they're going to give him a catch on that. They have moved the football to the 46. First down.
They may have to review that because I don't know if he maintained possession throughout the entirety.
Here goes Tank Hawkins in motion, number 10 for the Gators. Quick slant, pass caught. J. Michael Sturdivant to the 35. Diego Brumfield hanging on.
Yeah, in the run game, how effective they've been able to utilize it sets up that one-on-one opportunity for DJ Lagway to find that bang 8 post route, and J. Mike Sturdivant makes the most of that catch.
Lagway hit as he throws. Pass caught down to the 10-yard line goes T.J. Abrams, the redshirt freshman, with just his 6th catch of the year, a gain of 26.
DJ Lagway is now throwing in rhythm, able to get one-on-one coverage. He sees it from the jump, so he goes to his opportunity of saying, all right, I got to get the ball out quickly. Let me make sure I get a good, accurate pass, and those are a couple of the pass types of plays that we saw last week against A&M.
First down and goal for Florida. Ball sits at the 9-yard line. KD Daniels in the game at running back. Play clock. The end of the quarter. Both winding down, and that'll do it for the third period. We started the third quarter at 13-7. We'll start the fourth at 13-7. Gators, though, knocking on the door. Back in a moment.
You're going to see how Florida was able to move downfield. It was a little bit of Jaden Ball sprinkled on top of a little bit more of Jaden Ball. And when you have that combination working of Ball being great downfield, that's where DJ Lagway is able to take advantage and utilize the run game to set up the pass as he finds TJ Abrams down the sideline.
First and goal for the Gators inside the 10, about the 9.5-yard line. They will give it to Ball back in the game, and he's to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Nick Mitchell hanging on. The Gators have rushed for 160 yards today. And Jaden Ball will take himself out of this. Up to a career-high 129 now. KD Daniels checks into the left of Lagway. Second and goal. KD met at the 3, drives forward. He'll be just shy down to the 1-yard line. Again, Nick Mitchell steps up to make a play.
Here's an opportunity, perfect time to utilize DJ Lagway. Put some beef in there and let him go drive forward, get an extra blocker in the run game, and try to see if you can move it a yard to the end zone.
They're bringing in Cameron Waits. 6'8", 364 pounds, wearing number 75. He's on the right side of the line. KD Daniels in that wildcat formation. He'll take the snap, works the right side, touchdown Florida.
Yeah, well, Dave, you got a guy that's 364 pounds lined up in front of you. It's probably a good idea to follow him. That's exactly what KD Daniels does. He follows what Cameron Waits is able to do, getting guys thrown out of the way. Finish with your man in the end zone. That's what Cameron Waits was able to do, and KD Daniels followed for the touchdown.
Gators going for 2. Let's go for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis. Jaden Ball back in the game. He'll split out wide. There's a flag down.
Legal substitution on the offense, 12 in the formation. It's a 5-yard penalty. It is first down.
There's 12 out on the field. I just counted them. Now we'll go for Uno.
Dos Equis is off the table.
It's Uno Dequis, I guess.
Have you ever had a Uno's Dequis?
No, I don't. I have not.
Maybe it's only half as
right.
good.
Well, it might be time. It might be time for a Uno Dequis. So the point after by Trey Smack. They will spot the football around the 16-yard line. So a 26-yard point after attempt for Trey Smack. And he reaches his streak to 90 consecutive point afters made. And a big touchdown for the Gators. They have pushed it to a 13-point advantage. Longest drive of the season, 93 yards for the Gators. It caps off with the KD Daniels Wildcat formation touchdown run. Back in a moment. And welcome back to SEC Network Football presented by Sonic. Gator Band entertaining the crowd after that last 11 play. 93-yard drive by the Gators, making this a 20-7 ball game. 13:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. Kick will sail through the back of the end zone out to the 25. Time to get an update. Dory, break it down for me, my friend. Thank you, Dory. This day started with Vanderbilt taking down LSU. Had a great one going on in Athens. By the way, that kick went out of bounds, so it's spotted at the 35. Xavier Gayton coming near side. That'll be a gain of 12. This Mississippi State offense has 276 yards of offense. They came in averaging 395, but they're putting up a bunch of points, 33.7 points per game. Chapin hit, hammered as he throws, down the middle, caught inside the 5, down to the 7 goes Brennan Thompson, who has gotten behind the Gator defenders a few times today and picks up 46 yards.
Yeah, Blake Chapin stands in the pocket expecting to be hit. Oh, finds Brennan Thompson. And man, that shot was worth it to be able to get downfield, but he took a hit on that last play.
Handoff goes to Xavier Gayton, gets a few yards. That's the second game this season that Chapin has had 3 passes or more go for 40-plus yards. Also did it against Arizona State. Of course, the last of that was a 58-yarder, a touchdown to Brennan Thompson that won the game. Chapin throws on the run, hits Booth down to the 1-yard line. Alfonso Allen Jr., who has come out of nowhere, was on the scout team before this week, leads the Gators in tackle with 11 today. Handoff to Booth, sticks his nose across the goal line, touchdown Bulldogs. That did not take very long.
And that's what tempo offense does to you. Defense wasn't able to get aligned and ready to go on that last play. Devon Booth saw that, was able to find a hole in the inside zone scheme and punch his way into the end zone.
Kyle Ferry to attempt this point after. He hammers this one home. So a 20-14 game. The Bulldogs with their first touchdown since their opening drive.
Yeah, it was all set up by play action. Blake Chapin able to deliver a dime down the field to Brennan Thompson, fastest guy in the country, and Devon Booth caps it off with a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
SEC football is presented by Sonic. Buy one Sonic Smasher and get a free large drink when you order in the Sonic app.
That is Lauren Hager, one of the greatest Florida Gator softball players in history, inducted into the UF Athletic Hall of Fame this weekend on homecoming. 2015 SEC Pitcher of the Year, led the Gators to consecutive national titles. And this one will go through the end zone. Lagway 18 out of 32, 262 on the day through the air. For more on number 2, let's go down to Morgan.
It's been laser focus from quarterback DJ Lagway this entire game, but really lately, guys, quietly just taking the coaching from the sideline. And until today, this team has been shut out in the last 3 games in the fourth quarter. They certainly need their quarterback. And Napier saying he has the unique ability to be in the moment without external factors affecting him. And that is so obvious just watching him and observing him down here on the sideline.
Well, he's had to overcome a couple of interceptions. No touchdown passes today, but he has had a couple of deep shots. He's found Dallas Wilson here in the second half a couple of times. Also hit TJ Abrams on a big gainer. Goes underneath here to his tight end, Hayden Hansen. Hansen, a young man, a tight end. Now, he's a big boy at 6'8", 270. He doesn't leave the field. I mean, how often do you see a tight end on the field every play on offense?
That's pretty much rare. You almost never see that, no matter what offense you're running, unless you're running 10 personnel all the time. Tight end's usually on there, and they have to rotate because of how many snaps offensively you play. So that's a credit and testament to his work ethic and being able to be in shape for all of that.
Wes Calloway says we expect him to be an All-American tackle. We expect him to be an All-American wide receiver. Some lofty expectations for that young man as the handoff goes to Jaden Ball. Hansen, the redshirt junior out of Weatherford High School in Texas, came in second on the team in receptions. But you know what? I shouldn't say 270 because he doesn't want to be over 2. He wants to be 269. So sorry about that, Hayden. 269, 6'8", 269.
That's the real reason why he stays in on every snap.
Right, keep his weight down. 4-man rush by the Bulldogs. That pass was behind Amir Jackson. There is a flag back at the 36, away from where the pass was intended. It looked like Hayden Hansen got decked back there. He was a little slow to get up. He points to the sideline, says, I'm okay.
Foul, blindside block, defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Boy, a huge mistake by Zachary Tillman.
Yeah, you're going to see defenders are taught to be able to knock runners off of their route when the quarterback escapes the pocket, but you can't do it from his blind side. And they're going to call that for protection of the game every single time. And that was the correct call in that instance.
That moves it into Bulldog territory at the 49. Here's Jaden Ball. He'll get a couple of yards on first down. DJ Reed with the stop. Ball with a career high today running the football. 138 yards. Has a touchdown, averaging over 7.5 yards a carry.
Keep feeding the beast.
Yes. Of course, carried it 27 times against the Longhorns. So he's got a few left in the tank. A nice spin move. Well, the Bulldogs had him wrapped up. Nick Mitchell was right there, and then he wasn't.
That's the best way to put it. It's hard bringing him down, right? It's like wrestling of actual physical alligator, right? I don't know if you've ever wrestled one before live, Dave, but they are made of full muscle, and whenever you try to bring them down, they start squirming all over the place. That's what that spin move there, the gator roll, I might say, by Jaden Ball being able to escape those tackles.
I like that, the Jaden Ball gator roll. Third down, pressure comes, Lagway sees it, feels it, and through the hands of T.J. Abrams. There is a flag down in the backfield as Lagway got blasted.
I think that's going to be rough in the passer as well. Tillman hits Lagway in the head and neck area as he's releasing that pass.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting, number 7 on the defense. The previous play is under further review.
And this again, launching with the head, making contact with Lagway's head as a defenseless player in the head and neck area. That's why targeting is in place when he launches and the crown of the helmet hits there. That's going to get called every single time, and that's the second penalty on this drive, second personal foul by Tillman to lead to first downs for this Florida offense.
It's the first time really this year that Lagway has come into a game feeling close to 100%. It has been a journey for him from a physical standpoint going back to the summer. I mean, Billy Napier said that he had missed out on over 1,000 reps.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries he was dealing with, and just, I mean, anything that could go wrong with him. And there was never a severe injury, but it was always something that kept him from practicing.
Yeah, and the fact that it wasn't severe is probably best case scenario in those instances. Yeah. If you have to go through it, that is the guy that can withstand and handle that pressure. When talking with him yesterday, he mentioned trusting the process and getting back to his roots is what he relied on to get back on the football field.
I mean, this is taking a while, and he's got a bloody lip. Looks like he's got a little bloody lip. And I think what they're looking at, was there a crown of the helmet involved in that contact?
As Zachary Tillman kind of leaves his feet to launch to make contact with DJ Lagway.
Oh, head down.
The head goes down. The crown appears to hit Lagway's face mask and helmet area.
I mean, that last shot we showed looked pretty definitive to me.
Field, it is targeting. It is upheld. Number 7 is disqualified from the contest. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's a tough break for Zachary Tillman. Young man has been playing so well for Mississippi State. But his evening is over. And the first half next week also is in jeopardy, as they will take on Texas in Starkville. That moves it all the way down to the 31-yard line. Little toss sweep to ball. Stiff arm. Boy, when he gets low like that and uses a stiff arm, and this is a stretch, but I just had a flashback to a guy that used to wear number 22 for a long time, Emmitt Smith.
Oh, yeah.
When he gets down low in that stiff arm and people fall off his lower half.
Yep.
I mean, how many times did you watch a highlight of Emmitt Smith and people grab him, but they fall off his leg?
Yeah, he possesses that same uncanny ability to make people miss. That's a great analysis.
No, we're not quite there yet, but it just made just a flashback.
Yeah.
So. Lagway buying some time. And he'll just sling that one to the sideline. A flag comes out. 2 flags come out. Boy, Lagway was just trying to make something happen. Now there's a discussion. Jeff Levy nearly threw his headset off. They won it against Florida.
It appeared as Kelly Jones made contact with Dallas Wilson as the ball was in the air. But they both were fighting with each other.
Pass interference, offense, number 6. That's a 15-yard penalty. Big play, second down.
Boy, the redshirt sophomore out of Clarksdale, Mississippi's had a great season. He has been battling over there with that guy right there, Dallas Wilson, for most of this game. And that time, Wilson in violation.
Yeah, take a look. That's where these two guys are getting involved. DJ Lagway is escaping the pocket. And Dallas Wilson, I don't understand that call at all. He's the one getting grabbed. I don't see an offensive PI or a push-off that warranted a penalty on Dallas Wilson.
Well, like it or not, it backs it up to the 44. It is 2nd and 23. Here's Ball. Nobody's going to miss a tackle on that trip as Bledsoe hangs on. Boy, this is a big sequence in a 6-point game. 3rd and 24. You've gotten yourself out of field goal range.
And with it being such a long distance, you can expect a screen, maybe even a running back draw to Jaden Ball, and allow your playmakers some extra space to get the ball and get back into field goal range for Trey Smack.
Underneath throw, pass is caught by Ball. Bounces off a couple of defenders, but falls forward to the 35. So it maybe gives you a shot. Trey Smack's long, career long, 56 in the opener, and they're going to run him out here. This will be about a 52-yarder. We'll wait for the spot for the exact number, but he's hit from 24 and 54 today. And it'll be a 53-yard attempt. Trying to make it a 2-score game. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. He's got it. Trey Smack bailing out the Gators with 2 50-plus yard field goals tonight. Pushing it out to a 9-point advantage with 6:49 to go.
Trey Smack, he lets it fly. 53-yarder, and it's good, and you see the reaction. Napier relieved as his team goes up about 2 scores.
Well, the Gators tack on a 53-yard field goal. 23-14, getting late here in the fourth quarter. Of course, now in college football, these staffs can use iPads and break down plays immediately, so you better not be lying when you're walking off the field these days.
You got the immediate fact check by the iPad. It's a gift and a curse for coaches and players, being able to analyze what happened and use the video. It's priceless and an intangible that I wish I could have utilized whenever I was playing.
Or the Bulldogs offensively on that last drive, 65 yards in 5 plays. Their first drive went 8 plays, 75 yards. Have had a hard time sustaining offense in between. Shapen. Deep slant, pass caught. Anthony Evans, another catch for Anthony. He has been big time today. That one picks up 21 yards. 7 catches now for Mr. Evans. Shapen. Incomplete. Trying to hit Thompson, the freshman back there, the true freshman, Javari Flowers in coverage. Again, this Gator secondary down 4 starters today. They have been running 3 true freshmen out in the back end. Inside handoff goes to Booth. They pick up 3. Brian Taylor makes the tackle.
It's a critical 3rd down, Mississippi State.
Yeah, Bulldogs 6 of 12 on 3rd today. Make it 7 of 13 and a whole lot more. Devon Booth out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A huge gain, but a flag back at the 45.
Yeah, it appears it's going to be a holding on Mississippi State, which is going to bring this back.
Holding on the offense, number 8, 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
That's the tight end, Traore, and that nullifies a 30-yard gain.
You're going to see him work his way up to the 2nd level. And once he gets to that portion right there, as the defender's trying to work his way out of the block, just grabs the jersey and it gets called. And negates a 1st down for Mississippi State.
3rd down and 9. Quick out. Nowhere to go. Anthony Evans made the catch. 2 Gators right on top of him, led by Javari Flowers. That'll be a loss of 6. And now you're down 2 scores and the clock moving toward 5 minutes. Jeff Levy going to roll the dice, keep his offense out there.
Florida's looking like they're bringing pressure.
4-man rush. Shapen Long out. Thompson spins to the sideline. He'll have the first down at the 44-yard line. He made it by a half a yard.
Wow. What a play by Blake Shapen and individual effort by Brennan Thompson.
Gayton stays in the game at running back. A flag is down, and Mississippi State with a false start.
Just got set before the snap. 5-yard penalty. It is first down.
You're going to see Florida looks like they're pressuring. They ended up dropping and only rushing 4. One-on-one opportunity for Brennan Thompson. Shakes off a tackler. Gets the line to gain just by the hair of his chinny chin chin. And a much-needed first down for this Mississippi State Bulldog offense.
Again, chasing the sticks, 1st and 15. Blake Shapen, 17 of 24, 260. First time in 4 games he's thrown for over 200 yards. Inside handoff, Booth hits it hard. Breaks a couple of tackles, gets it inside the 40. A second down and manageable coming up. Alfonso Allen Jr. with the tackle on the back end. Bringing 5. Shapen hit. Pass dropped. Jordan Mosley had it, lost it. Jamrock Grimsley back there in coverage. The redshirt freshman out of Tampa.
Another 3rd down. Mississippi State can run it like they did last time, but they elect to go into empty personnel. Alert quarterback draw. And this look.
Shapen underneath, pass is caught, down to the 20. Traore inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal Bulldogs. A gain of 30.
Traore is such a mismatch nightmare for linebackers and safety. Exploits man coverage on that last play.
Handoff Booth. Picks up a couple of yards. Boy, a helmet comes off of Jacoby Jackson, so he immediately leaves the field.
For Florida, it's a much-needed break to be able to have subs come in after a long drive and try to get some fresh bodies in there to hunker down in the red zone.
Clock moving inside of 3 minutes. Shapen looking to throw to the end zone. Pass is caught. Touchdown. They're going to give him 6. Aiden Williams.
And that's as close as it can get on the sideline. That left foot was hanging in the air. I don't know if he caught it in bounds, though. Take a closer look here. You want to see right foot cycles, and it appears like he's still on the white when that comes down, but it's close.
Again, I mean, conclusive or not? I mean, it's hard. Let's see here.
Here's another angle. It's a little blurry in that slow-mo frame, but it appears to me his toe was on the white as he's catching that ball. Here's an even better look. Yeah, that toe's on the white. I think this is going to be called back and overturned after the review.
I mean, you're talking about centimeters.
Yeah. Game of inches, the cliche term that they always say, and that's the difference. If the defender doesn't push,
I don't even know if that was
Aiden
inches.
Williams, right, it wasn't. But if the defender doesn't push Aiden Williams, he probably catches that inbounds easily. But with the push, it forces him further than where he wants to go. They're taking their time on this review. They got to make sure they get the call right, which is understandable. That is as close as you can make it. That right foot coming down right between the orange and the white. That's the difference in a touchdown and an incomplete pass.
I mean, that's about as close as you can get it. Here we go.
After review, the player's foot was down out of bounds. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be third down at the 8-yard line.
Here we go. You get this close in the red zone. Expect man-to-man coverage across the board. You got man beaters where you're going to have a slant and a rub route, or they like to utilize the quarterback draw with the lead blocker in Devon Booth as well.
Shapen, incomplete. Flag comes out.
That's going to be holding.
Yeah, Aiden Williams back there in the route. You could see at the tail end, he got twisted around.
Yeah, Jaden Robinson just grabs that jersey.
Pass interference, defense, number 29. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. It is first down.
It's going to move the ball to the 2-yard line. You're going to take a look here. Right at the top, grabs onto the jersey of Aiden Williams. Restricts his movement as the ball is in the air.
First and goal, Shapen. Flushed out of the pocket, being chased. Got rid of it, I think more so than anything, just so he wouldn't take a sack. Bryce Thornton back there in the end zone, defensively for Florida. Boy, one thing about this drive is it's chewing up some of the clock.
Yes.
Now, Bulldogs do have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout to deal with.
Ultimate thing for Mississippi State is they got to find a way into the end zone first before they can start thinking about other strategy of what they want to do next.
Handed off to Booth. Stretches across the goal line. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
Following the block of big left tackle Albert Reese. He's able to force his way in and maybe close. Is his knee down before the ball crosses? It appears he's probably crossed the plane. It is very close again. We're talking about centimeters and inches. It's very close. Here's the pylon cam as the knee goes down. That ball is crossed. So that should be upheld for a touchdown after review.
They're holding up play just to give the replay guys an opportunity to take a couple looks at that, but I'm with you. I mean, that clearly looked like the ball had crossed that plane.
Yep.
And now we're ready for play. So Kyle Ferry to attempt this point after. Hammers it through the uprights. Well, we got ourselves a 2-point ball game. 2:32 left to play. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts and the 2-minute timeout remaining. Boy, since we started this game, the Gators have been just fighting these injuries. For more on that, Morgan, what's going on down there?
In the game, guys, it was defense, but lately it's been offense. Star freshman wide receiver Vernell Brown is in a sling. That left arm, he was taken back quietly into the locker room and came out just on that last drive. And then wide receiver Aiden Mizell also in a left boot. So Florida's going to have to hang on to this lead without two of their best wideouts.
Man, they've lost a couple of guys in the back end of the secondary. It has been a tough day for Florida on the injury front, trying to hold on here in a 23-21 ball game. This kick will sail into the end zone. The Gators will bring it out to the 25-yard line. And boy, if there was ever a time for Jaden Ball to take over, it'd be right now.
Absolutely. Being able to run the ball effectively, especially in this, what we used to call hammer situations, 4-minute offense, picking up first downs, force the opposing team to utilize their timeouts, and then finish with your ball, or with the ball in your hands at the end of the game is the ultimate goal. And Jaden Ball, I think, gives them that best opportunity.
21 carries, career high 141 yards for Ball, who's averaging 6.7 yards a carry today. The sophomore running back out of Atlanta, Georgia. Handoff left side to Ball. He'll get it to close to the 30-yard line. They'll spot him back at the 29. Jeff Levy going to let this clock wind down perhaps to the 2-minute warning, or the 2-minute timeout. Well, Mississippi State much improved from a year ago under Jeff Levy. They have dropped 14 straight conference games. It's been almost 2 years since they won a game in the league. Struggling here. They're going to need to step it up big time. Gators trying to run this clock out. We'll have all the drama when we come back.
It is the third Saturday in October. Alabama and Tennessee.
Well, that one will be starting any minute. Hopefully you'll stay with us and then switch it over to watch the Vols and the Tide. You look at our Capital One college football rankings. Ohio State just demolished Wisconsin. But the big news today is Ole Miss falling. Had a lead in Athens, couldn't hold on. They lose 43-35. LSU goes down in Nashville. There's Jaden Ball on the carry, and he'll pick up 4 more. Timeout taken by Mississippi State.
Timeout, Mississippi State. Their first half.
Yeah, with those rankings, man, it is as wide open as I've ever seen it. Not just in the conference, but probably in the country as well. I mean, Miami and Louisville last night came down to the wire. Louisville forcing those turnovers. But how about Diego Pavia? All right, being able to showcase what he's made of. Vanderbilt being a favorite against LSU, coming away with the dub. That's a big-time victory for that Vanderbilt program in Clark Lee.
Well, this is a huge third down coming up. Third down and a yard and a half, maybe. Can this Bulldog defense come up with one more stop?
Well, you better believe they're going to send the house on this play. If you're going to utilize any type of play action, it has to be a safe pass. Otherwise, give it to your bell cow and let them go pick up a yard for you.
Ball stands to the right of Lagway. They're going to throw for it. Lagway, drop back at the 27-yard line by Brylan Lanier. The Bulldogs will get another crack at the football.
Lanier is having himself a football game. You get man-to-man, bringing the house. Everybody is covered downfield. DJ Lagway could have maybe thrown a deep ball back there, but that's not what you typically do in this type of situation. He doesn't make a bad play worse, just takes the sack, forces Mississippi State to use the timeout, but now defense got to hang on to their hats.
Anthony Evans back to return this punt. Tommy Doman will stand at the 12 to receive the snap. High kick. Fair catch called for. Taken at the 28-yard line. A 45-yard punt. 1:39 on the clock. One timeout remaining for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and all they need is a field goal. Getting that extra point the last time they scored. A big critical kick that needed to have happened. The way Mississippi State's been playing these past couple of drives, they've moved the ball with ease. So it's a big drive.
Kyle Ferry, if you're wondering, had a career-long 55-yarder in the opener against Southern Miss. So if you look at this from a where do you need to get to, you can get it inside the 45 and have a decent shot at it for Ferry. Big hole for Chapin. Out to the 45-yard line. Clock will stop for a moment. Gain of 17.
That's the sneaky athleticism of Blake Chapin. Quarterback draw. It's not accounted for.
Gators bringing 5. Chapin buying some extra time. Throws it. Pass caught. Only a gain of 2 to Evans, but he'll stop the clock with 1:15 to go. Evans now with 9 catches.
Florida got to find a way to get pressure. Mississippi State find a way to get the ball to Anthony Evans.
Chapin. Loose football on the turf, incomplete. Javari Flowers back there in coverage. How about these freshmen? They're having to run out there in this situation, getting their first taste of big-time SEC football in a moment like this.
Truly impressed by the young guys, being able to communicate as well as they have and being able to make plays still. That's big time there. 3rd down. Look out in the slot, Anthony Evans. It's been his go-to guy.
Dump it off to Booth. Cuts it back inside the 45. He'll have a first down at the 44. Gain of 10. Cameron James on the stop. 1:03 to play.
What a play call. Jeff Levy getting everybody sink deep. Hits it underneath to Devon Booth.
Chapin. That pass is caught at the 37-yard line by Anthony Evans again.
This is an area where Florida probably got to be mindful of using timeouts.
First down, Bulldogs to the 29. Anthony Evans again. Boy, he and Thompson have put on a show today. There is Kyle Ferry waiting for his opportunity. An injured player is Anthony Evans. And that'll stop the clock for a moment. Bulldogs with 1 timeout left. I did not see the tail end of that play and what happened to Evans. Evans with 11 catches, 99 yards.
You see the catch. Look at this violent collision by Allen. Going in there, he dislodges the ball. Somehow Anthony Evans is able to still come away with possession. That was a physical hit by Alfonso Allen.
Actually give Evans 107 yards receiving on 11 catches. He's been targeted 11 times tonight and has caught every one that's come his way.
He's been the go-to guy for Blake Chapin, whether it's been a deep ball, intermediate, or even short. That's what they need to do, is continue to find the production from a guy like Anthony Evans. Seydou Traore had a big gain on that last drive, one-on-one matchup with him through the middle of the field. That might be where Blake Chapin is able to utilize his athleticism in one-on-one matchups. They try to get an opportunity to get downfield and make it a closer field goal attempt.
Blake Chapin, 24-35 for 324. Remember, it's been 4 straight games since he had thrown for more than 175 yards.
Yep.
His career high is 345 yards against Oklahoma State when he was over at Baylor. First down and 10. Chapin keeps it himself and is tripped up at the 28-yard line by Jaden Robinson. And the Bulldogs will have to use a timeout. They are clearly in range for Kyle Ferry.
Second timeout.
And the strategy here, second down for Mississippi State. No timeouts. They have to be smart. If you're going to run the ball, you got to be able to run it and then clock it, or you got to be able to get out of bounds on the throw so you don't end up with an opportunity where the clock runs out before you get an attempt to be able to kick the ball for a field goal.
The junior with an opportunity perhaps to win this one for the Bulldogs on the road and snap this long SEC losing streak. There's a snap. Gators bringing some pressure. It's picked off. Makai Barone just saved the day for the Gators. Oh my goodness.
Makai Barone, the play of the game, young man. Not many times you get to see a guy of that size have as soft hands as he did to create that game-sealing takeaway for the Florida Gators. What a play.
6'4", 350. Just reaches up and snatches it like he was meant to be a receiver. Boy, would it look like Mississippi State had an opportunity. The Gator defense comes up big. You can see the reaction from DJ Lagway. Take a deep breath. Boy, and Jeff Levy losing overtime to Tennessee at home. An opportunity here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, big man, you just got your first interception.
Take a look at how he got his first interception. He drops back from the middle of the nose, middle of the field, plays the eyes of Blake Chapin. And look at those soft hands. He's lobbying for some opportunities to get more touches on the offensive side of the ball. How about that, Dave? What a play to secure the win for the Florida Gators.
Boy, on the other side, Blake Chapin did a masterful job getting this team in position for the field goal, and then that happens. Oh, man. What a game. SEC football is unbelievable. Let's go down to Morgan.
Coach, congratulations. It's all smiles and celebrations down here. What did it take to withstand their surge?
Man, first of all, give Coach Levy and Mississippi State some credit. That team continues to get better. I have a ton of respect for Jeff and that staff. They're improving. And let me tell you something, man. I don't care who you put out here in this league. You better be ready to go. And we let them hang around. You know, we had almost 300 yards in the first half and didn't get the points that we wanted. But how about Makai Barone, man? 375 pounds, picking off a pass to win the game.
With all the noise, Coach, surrounding your program, how do you describe what this win, this moment, hearing these fans cheer so loudly for your guys who have worked so hard for this?
It's a resilient group. You know, they've got character. They care for each other. Regardless of what's happened on the outside, man, what an incredible group. They play so hard. They dealt with adversity. We talked about that yesterday. So, look, it hasn't gone the way they want it to, or we want it to, or our fans want it to go. But they're a team, and they stuck together, and they were a good example of a team tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats. Enjoy this one.
Yeah, he spent yesterday talking so much about this team and the closeness of this group, but they needed everybody today with injuries and everything else going on, and they got the interception when they needed it and win 23-21. So for Fozzie Whitaker, Morgan Uber, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Gainesville. All smiles in the swamp. Missouri and Auburn coming up. Time to get you out to the Plains. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Cubeling.